Hey everybody, you may remember me as small-time independent wrestler Steve the Teacher. Well, as someone remotely connected to the wrestling business, who's been watching it forever, I figured I'd share my observations of the Royal Rumble with you. First and foremost, sponsorship. With the whole big Vince McMahon scandal, I had heard, and now I've since heard it confirmed, Slim Jim removed their name from the sponsorship. They didn't want to be affiliated with the product anymore. But when Royal Rumble came on, there was a commercial for Slim Jim, so I don't know if it was delayed or someone didn't get the memo. Also interesting was the use of Randy Savage's likeness in the commercial itself. Plus, one of their flavors or varieties was named Slim Jim Savage. So that was interesting. Let's get to some of the matches themselves. The ladies' Royal Rumble match started off the show. More surprises in the women's match than the men's. And it started off pretty early with Naomi, known as Trinity in TNA. I think, is it TNA these days, or is it Impact? It's TNA. And it was a nice surprise, but unfortunately, social media destroyed it, and there had been rumors about it for at least a month, maybe more, that she was coming back and that she'd be coming back at the Royal Rumble. So to me, the big surprise was Jordynne Grace, and she did very well for the time she was in, and she showed to me that she can play with the big girls. And then, of course, Jade Cargill was a big surprise. We knew that she was working with them, we just didn't know when we'd see her. The men's match was a little bit disappointing to me. I'm not going to say it was a total flop, but it was not as exciting as I expected. Not too many surprises in my book. I don't count Pat McAfee as a surprise. That was just a waste of my time. I didn't find it funny or amusing. I didn't even find his commentary necessary. A lot of people did say, oh, he really added a lot to the commentary team, and I just didn't see it. I didn't think it was necessary. It's like he didn't know who anyone was, and he had to be familiarized. Almost was a surprise. But he was working with them, and it was pretty much promoted that he was doing all the live shows. So apparently they were grooming him for something, and I guess this was it. Slight tweak to the character. But there could have been so many more surprises. There could have been Okada. There could have been Brock Lesnar, but because, in fact, there was plans to the best of my knowledge, but because of the scandal and Brock Lesnar's alleged involvement, that's where Braun Breakker filled in, and he did very well. So count Braun Breakker as a surprise, but he wasn't in the plan. He was a substitute. Speaking of Bronson Reed, what a horrible elimination he did. He did a horrible job. He struggled to get over that top rope. It was the worst thing I've seen since Melvin Nerdley. If you know, you know. So yeah, but there was Okada could have been a surprise. There was rumors that MJF was going to be number 30. There was rumors Rey Mysterio was going to come back. So overall, just a disappointment in general. That being said, I would have been upset if I missed it, but it was definitely not my favorite Royal Rumble card by a long shot. Feel free to comment, give your opinions. It's just one guy's opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Speaking of which, CM Punk. It seemed like something was off. He wasn't selling the moves well enough, in my opinion. Cody Rhodes went to give him a power slam. He barely got up for it. I'm assuming that he didn't jump high enough, but it could have been Cody's fault. I don't know. But on a couple of them, I was like, oh, it doesn't look like he's trying. And maybe that was his statement for not winning. There was a lot of people who could have won. Cody Rhodes to finish the story. CM Punk, because they just signed him and they made such a big deal about it. Brock Lesnar, if he was there. Drew McIntyre could have won because he's still unsigned and they want him. So perhaps by letting him win, that might have given him a little incentive. We'll see. Again, please feel free to submit your opinions.